from being killed by a jealous husband to being thrown into the sea with an anchor tied around the neck. These are 10 popes who met a terrifying end. Pope Stephen VI became pope on May 22, 896, thanks to the Spoleto family that ruled the lands neighboring the Papal States. 2 years prior, the previous pope, now deceased Formosus, had made enemies with said family. Additionally, Stephen VI had some personal grudges with Formosus. And you see, Pope Stephen VI was a pitiful man. While Formosus had already been dead for a year, the new pope wanted to teach him a lesson by putting him on trial. This trial, which came to be known as the Cadaver Synod, was exactly as it sounds. The semi-decomposed corpse of Formosus was dug up, dressed, seated on a throne, and questioned about his supposed crimes. Unsurprisingly, the dead pope was found guilty, and his corpse was thrown into the Tiber River. This surreal spectacle was a clear abuse of power, which led to Stephen VI's own downfall. He was imprisoned in 897 and strangled in his cell soon after. That said, Stephen VI wasn't the only pope planted by the Spoleto family who met his end violently. In 955, Alberic II of Spoleto, the ruler of Rome, elected his own son, Octavian, who was between 18 and 24 years old, as pope. He took the name of John XII and quickly fell into many controversies, including women and murder. This abominable priest soiled the chair of St. Peter for 9 entire years and deserved to be called the most wicked of popes. Pope John XII's papacy was cut short because he died during intercourse with a woman. One account states that he was murdered by the husband, while another account proposes that he died of a stroke during the act. The year 257 wasn't great for the Roman Empire. With the Sasanian Empire threatening the east and the barbaric tribes invading the north, Emperor Valerian was pushed to take action. That year, he issued an edict preventing Christian assemblies and forcing clergy to worship Roman gods. Pope Stephen I stood his ground and continued his divine mission. One account states that the Roman soldiers broke into the mass he was celebrating and beheaded him right on his throne. Like many popes in the Middle Ages, Pope John VIII didn't have it easy. As a ruler of the Papal States, he had to be as much of a political leader as a religious one, participating in an intricate diplomatic dance with fellow emperors, kings, and dukes, while defending his land from enemies. Pope John VIII did everything to protect the Papal States from Saracen invasions. He fortified the city walls, improved the coastal fleets, and even paid tribute. But all of it required money, and eventually it ran out. With the papal treasury nearly empty, his fellow clerics decided that it was time for a change. In 882, they poisoned Pope John VIII, and after the toxin didn't work as expected, they bludgeoned him to death. In 1143, Roman citizens founded the Commune of Rome, aiming to re-establish the Roman Senate and take back control of the city from papal rule. This group demanded that Pope Lucius II withdraw from politics and remain solely as a spiritual leader. The Pope, not wanting to give up his authority, fought back and in 1145 attacked the Commune forces. During the skirmish, he suffered extreme head trauma from stones thrown at him, and just a couple of days later, he died of injuries. Jesus met Simon Peter when he was fishing with his brother Andrew, and he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. Peter became one of the 12 apostles, and in the Catholic view, Jesus Christ appointed him as the first pope. "And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the powers of death shall not prevail against it." After the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ, it is believed that Peter moved to Rome, ruled by Nero, where he began kindling the Christian community. Through the power of God committed unto him, wrought certain miracles, and by turning many to the true religion, built up a faithful and steadfast temple unto the Lord. But Nero, infamous for his supposed brutality and extravagance, soon began targeting these followers of Christ, and sometime between AD 64 and 68, Peter became one of his victims. According to the non-canonical Acts of Peter, he was crucified, but on his own accord, upside down. "I beseech you, the executioners, crucify me thus, with the head downward and not otherwise." According to Jerome of Stridon, Peter asked to be crucified upside down because he felt unworthy of the same death as Jesus Christ. After Peter's death, Linus, an Italian bishop from Volterra, became the new pope, but he encountered a similar fate. Just a decade later, he was imprisoned for converting the daughter of a Roman official to Christianity. In prison, Pope Linus was decapitated. But martyrdom wasn't always immediate, and some popes suffered slowly before passing away. Pope Silverius was consecrated thanks to the efforts of King Theodahad, the ruler of the Ostrogothic kingdom that ruled the Italian peninsula from 493 to 553. Unfortunately for Silverius, he became pope amid the Gothic War, during which the Byzantine Empire was reclaiming Italian lands. In 536, the Byzantine army reached Rome, and Empress Theodora framed Pope Silverius with treason. According to forged letters, Pope Silverius was conspiring with the Goths to take back Rome. A few months later, he was exiled to the island of Palmarola, and with the island being practically uninhabitable, he likely died of starvation the same year. In 973, Holy Roman Emperor Otto I helped Benedict to become Pope Benedict VI, but the aristocrats had a distaste for emperor-backed popes, seeing them as imperial puppets. To make matters worse, Otto I died the same year, leaving the reins of the empire to his son Otto II. However, Otto II was busy fighting wars, leaving Benedict VI defenseless. A year later, in 974, the Crescenti family used this opportunity to arrest and imprison him in the mausoleum of Hadrian. With the papal seat absent, the Crescenti aristocrats helped their guy, Cardinal Franco Ferrucci, declare himself the new pope, nowadays known as Anti-Pope Boniface VII. Not long after, Pope Benedict VI was strangled in prison, ending his short-lived papacy. The fourth pope in history, Pope Clement I, rose to the papal throne in AD 92. At the time, Christians were a minority in the Roman Empire, and Emperor Trajan supported their persecution. In AD 100, Pope Clement was exiled to modern-day Crimea and condemned to work at a stone quarry. Upon arriving at the destination, Clement I discovered that most workers were dying of thirst. He got on his knees, prayed, and spotted a white lamb grazing on a hill nearby. Clement I went there, struck the land with a pickaxe, and found a freshwater source, satisfying the material thirst of the workers. This miracle also quenched their spiritual thirst, as many of them converted to Christianity. When the authorities understood that exile wasn't going to stop Clement I, he was ordered to be executed. Allegedly, he was thrown off the boat with an anchor tied to his neck so that he wouldn't leave any relics to be venerated. This plan didn't work out, as some of his bones can supposedly be found in the Basilica of St. Clement in Italy and the Kiev Monastery of the Caves in Ukraine.